must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
A very good morning to you, and thank you so much for watching us. This is The Punch, and on The Punch on Friday, as we usually do it, we look at the news of the week that was, looking at the news-making headlines across that happened this week. And of course, a lot happened this week, the first week of January 2021. So we have a lot to look at locally and also internationally. My name is Miriam Ogutu. And before, I think I'll take us to Dr. David Matanga at the Political Command Center. Doctor, a very good morning to you. All right. So as we wait for Doctor to join us, let me bring us up to date, and then I'll bring the rest of the panelists. Kenya this morning, bring us up to date in line with the COVID-19 statistics. In Kenya this morning, the confirmed cases stands at 97,733. The death toll is 1,702. Recoveries is 80,306 cases. Uganda, the cases right now have topped 37,074. The death toll is 297 and recoveries is 12,544. South Africa, confirmed cases right now are at 1,170,590, and the death toll is 31,809. Recoveries right now stands at 938,216. The number of cases across the African continent, 2,802,001. And the number of deaths that have been reported so far stands at over 93,000, and recoveries right now is at 2,536,725. So that is the latest there. So Doctor is here. So I'll just take us to the Political Command Center. Doctor, very good morning to you. Yes, Doctor. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Miriam. Good morning, the panel, both of you, all of you, from Nanyuki, and my man from Meru. Good morning.
Good morning to Doctor.
The Meru man, are you hearing? Today,
yes, good morning, Dr. Masanga from the Political Command Center.
You don't look charged. Why?
No, I'm okay. I'm good. I'm good to go.
You are not charged.
I'm good 100%.
You go through. I will touch mainly on the elections of the United States and whether Africa needs to follow this type of democracy of winner takes all. That is my main topic. The question of Ruto, I think I will leave it to you people, especially to touch. Don't ask me too many questions about him. Let you people dissect. That is the general advice from my overall friends, because he seemed to be complaining that I've hit him so hard. So it means I've gone deeper. My analysis that I've been writing every morning has rattled him. So I will, not that I will not talk about, I will talk, but I leave Kirimi to hit, and ye Karanja, you hit hard. I will just bring in the topic and disappear. You hit. But I will be writing another type of language, which he will not understand. I will still remain on the same page. I'm not bothered. The day I mean, mtu anawatisha. This is the whole problem of some of these people. But don't worry about that. It is just a precaution. They are more of protecting me than they want to protect me more than more than anything else. It's not anything big. Two, they don't know. I think on the screen it appears London, is it? Miriam?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, leave it that way. Let's go that way. And that is it until, we are operating both rebel activities as against the same man who doesn't want to be BI. So, tuachie hapo, tuendelee. At least I'm here. I can be giving you support. So, Miriam, the show is yours. I'm here.
All right, Doctor. Thank you so much there from the Political Command Center. And we're also joined by Douglas Kirimi from Meru. Douglas, good morning.
Good morning, Miriam. Good morning to my friend Jevan Karanja in Nanyuki. Good morning to Dr. David Masanga in our Political Command Center in London. And good morning to our crew back to our headquarters in Nairobi. And good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all our viewers across the world, depending on where they are watching us from. Thank you.
Very well, thank you so much. And also, of course, Jevan Karanja from Nanyuki. Jevan, good morning to you.
It's a very good morning here, Miriam, in Nanyuki and the entire Mount Kenya region, despite the few politics here and there that are taking shape day after day. Mm-hmm. And a good morning to Dr. David Matsanga from our Political Command Center in London. And good morning to my friend Douglas Kiremi. And good morning to our viewers wherever they are catching this broadcast from. Thank you.
All right, very well. So we'll just start with the headlines, even as we get into our topics for today, and we shall look at the politics of doublespeak, BBI, constitutional amendments inevitable, and then, of course, we shall relook at Kangáta's letter of confusion, and later, towards the end of the show, Donald Trump's messy exit. Finally, he came out yesterday and tweeted a message of what he's now ready to just the peaceful transfer of power. I don't know, we shall look at that later, and Doctor will help us in that. But something that I saw yesterday, remember, during the funeral service of ANC leader Musalia Mudavadi's mom, and the stories on the Star newspaper, 3 top politicians, old allies from NASA, have hinted at a new political alliance, providing a third alternative ahead of next year's election. Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka, ANC's Musalia Mudavadi, and Ford Kenya's Moses Wetangula reportedly are working on their own alliance, NASA-less ODM's Raila Odinga, that will support a presidential candidate. And already Deputy President William Ruto is building his own coalition of smaller parties, while Raila is expected to team up with President Uhuru Kenyatta's allies in another coalition. But that is not what really bothered me yesterday when I watched part of that, the mass service there. The politics, I think that our politicians just have a very bad manner. Someone's mother has died. You are there to condole with the family. And then you're there talking about Luhya unity. What is wrong with our political leaders there? I was actually not very happy about what was happening there. I don't know did you watch that, Javen, and what did you make of it?
Thank you very much for that question, Miriam. I was following what was transpiring on that ceremony to celebrate the life of Mama Mudavadi. And one thing, Miriam, and you have said, we need politicians to abstain from taking politics to those who are mourning. That is time to mourn. That is time to condole with their family. But Miriam, it has become a norm in our country that wherever there is a burial associated with any politician, or even not in the political arena, politicians will go there to take politics. You saw it in Embu, and the person who was being to rest in peace was not even a politician, but the politics took the better part of the ceremony. Therefore, it is time that our politician needs to abstain from that bad behavior, and there is time for everything. When people are mourning, go there to condole with the family, give them comfort, but don't take politics. And sometimes they take premature and primitive politics that don't even add value even to this country or to the people who are on the audience. And number two, Miriam, there's a lot of politics that came out, and something that took me by surprise is the deputy president trying to portray a picture of somebody who is not close with the president and telling the ANC party leader, the Wiper leader, Kalonzo Musyoka, and other leaders who are in attendance that they can speak with the president so that we bring this country together. And I was wondering, is BBI not part of the process to unite this country that he has been fighting all throughout? Therefore, he portrays himself. And as I said yesterday, when he was this is a man who speaks from both sides of mouth. And it's quite unfortunate that he is still the person Kenyans are expecting him even to be on the presidential ballot. But is a leader who cannot differentiate issues, and he tries to praise the masses. And that is not something that is good, because he has no agenda, concrete agenda that he sells to the people, apart from his usual politics of diversionary tactics and trying to pretend as a man who is so close to God. But when you look at the deeds and the words, they don't read from the same script. And also, on that issue, there's issue of the Mudavadi and the Wetangula and the Kalonzo Musyoka having their own political outfit. It's not a bad thing, because, Miriam, that is the mood in the country. Everybody is preparing themselves to go to the best option they feel like can take them to the next level. But, Miriam, we are trying to come out of this mentality of tribal mobilization, and instead we look on political parties that have an ideology to take this country to the next level, a political ideologies that are based on and founded on ideology. But this issue of trying to mobilize people as you're approaching to the general election around their tribes and around their region, I think is something that is past time, and it's high time that politicians, I would like to see Mudavadi and Kalonzo Musyoka trying to talk of a national kind of a political outfit, not this Kamba and Luya unity, but a political outfit that will involve all Kenyans. But Miriam, I hope as we near to that point of general election, maybe you'll have that kind of a party. Jubilee, they tried to have that national outlook, but it's failed terribly because of raw ambitions that have taken and eaten the Jubilee party. You have seen also the deputy president is trying to merge these small parties. Therefore, it is time that politicians wakes up and we talk of national conversation to bring all Kenyans on board, and that's exactly what the BBI is talking about.
All right.
Thank you.
Very well. Thank you so much, Jevan Karanja, all the way from Nanyuki there. Douglas, somebody's mother has died. You standing there trying to tell them, instead of condoling with the family, that is the time you're saying, we will support your presidential bid, we will support your, it's time for this thing about Luya unity. Surely, there should be a place and time for everything. I mean, this bad behavior from our politicians.
Thank you, Miriam, and thank you for that introduction and also that question. This is what Deputy President William Ruto has been doing. When someone mother dies, including when William Ruto does not know them, the first thing he does in the morning is to send them obituaries, which is not bad. And the next thing, he would wake up and also fry there, make sure he has been followed by over 100 MPs to go and do his 2022 politics, leaving the family with little space to mourn and also bury their people. Remember what he did in Machakos when Senator Kabaka died. Politicians invaded that burial, and people family had to be left to the body of Senator Kabaka and bury him without ceremony and also without celebration, and also they were not given their own space as a family to be able to bury their dead with dignity. I am calling and also I'm imploring on Deputy President William Ruto and his troops to stop trooping to every burial site in this country to go and also disturb the peace of the people. When Deputy President William Ruto wants to campaign, a time is coming when the president is going to dissolve parliament, and when people are going to be released to campaign for 2022, there will be no MPs and there will be no deputy president. You'll be ready to campaign. He can resign even now and go and campaign and do his own rallies when COVID is over. But at this moment, what Deputy President William Ruto is doing is very disgusting. We have not seen President Uhuru Kenyatta go and do politics in various. except the leader of opposition, the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, who has gone to a few select burials where he has gone and also spoken as a nationalist, as a leader, and he has not gone about campaigning for his 2022 bid. We have not seen the Right Honorable Raila Odinga being followed by 100 MPs, pledging allegiance to him and also saying how he is going to run for 2022. I think this is a very bad and unbecoming behavior that has engulfed the life of Deputy President William Ruto, a man that thinks about burials, a man that thinks about fundraising. Remember, Miriam, it is in public domain since 2013, William Ruto has donated over 1.669 billion shillings in all Arambes that he has appeared, because he doesn't give less than 1 million. He gives between 1 million to 5 million shillings, money in sacks, in gunny bags. And this is a man that has only created platforms between burials and churches. He cannot be able to call his own meeting. We have not seen him call a Raja meeting at Uhuru Park. You only wait for people to die so that he can go and disturb someone's mother peace. When people are talking about resting in peace, Deputy William Ruto is talking about 2022. He wants to run for president in 2022. Miriam, there is no ambition that is worth anyone's peace, discomfort, and also disarrangement that Deputy President William Ruto is doing in these burials. Remember, when he goes to these burials and churches, he becomes the MC. When he comes to your church, Deputy President becomes the bishop of that day. He takes over the whole pulpit and also invites his surrogates and people who have been given money that was stolen from Kimwarel. He has run down Kenya Power and also Kenya Pipeline. Remember, Miriam, these are things that are in public domain. He has stolen over 63 billion shillings for the people of Kimwarel and Arol. He has been able to scuttle down, Miriam, just a moment. He has been able to scuttle down the Big Four agenda of the president, where food security was supposed to be in Rift Valley and also in Arol and Kimwarel, where the former Treasury CS, Rotich comes from. They stole that money and made sure that that money has been able to buy MPs to be able to destroy the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta. We need to call the hypocrisy of Deputy President William Ruto, and also people from William Ruto's side who will see this broadcast. They need to see the hypocrisy in the man that they are calling their president, a man that is corrupt to the core, a man that is a blood thief who has stolen funds from Kenyans. And I don't understand why President Uhuru Kenyatta has not called for his own impeachment publicly, so that we can get done with this beef and Kenya moves forward. We can build the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta and move this country forward, Miriam.
All right, very well. Douglas, thank you so much for that, Doctor. This new alliance that apparently is in the offing between the Wiper leader and NC leader and Ford Kenya leader materializes. What kind of impact do you think it will have in the Kenyan political dynamics? Is it a game changer at all?
Thank you very much, Miriam. First of all, I would like to echo the call for unity of purpose. I would like, from now onwards, look at the development that President Uhuru Kenyatta has brought, more than lamenting over the mistakes of perennial mourners. Men who even think, in fact, there are people who now, during the week, even prayed that God lands somebody down on a high caliber MP or senator or former minister. They become even very jittery. I found some of them I believe in Nairobi. You should have some people of that nature. In London, we had a group those days of Ugandans who could celebrate to find out this weekend, where are we going? When the pandemic of HIV/AIDS, Miriam, struck Ugandans in London, they could say, where else? Which house today? Is it in Greenwich? Is it in Central London? Is it in North London? And then they buy cans, 24 cartons of beer, candy beer. Someone buys 2, and you see them arriving. You know, the purpose was to discuss, gossip, this, that, and the development was not there anymore. And that happened in London. Now I can see it in Nairobi. I can see it in Kenya. Somebody's death is turned into the books of lamentation, the books of Proverbs, the books of, which other book talks of the future? Proverbs. Oh, 2022, we shall do this. What sinks to me when I was watching that clip from where I am is this, Miriam, sarcasm, sarcastic language. I hope I was in the first word I was right, was I? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of sarcasm, the state of sarcastic language, where the president is belittled. I have come across by people condemning me because if I'm dealing with the social media and you are insulting President Uhuru Kenyatta, and then I continue writing without also telling you that I also I'm not insulting. Now the social media is very tough. If you insult somebody, you're a baboon, you will be blocked. And I think Karimi has learned a lesson. If you tell somebody you're a monkey, or anybody what. So, but if I find that I am the only man left on the social media who can look at President Uhuru Kenyatta's record of development, but you are belittling him in a public funeral ceremony in a church where you have gone to send off the body of the beloved, I will go, you will be collateral. Taenda na wewe. So that one, people have to be very careful. Yesterday's statement by Wetangula, Kalonzo and Mudavadi, they seem to be nothing. Fine. But what does it help Kenya? Without development, without looking at what President Uhuru Kenyatta is really doing, what is the legacy? Are they helping him or they are tearing him down? I want us to understand this. Are we tearing President Uhuru Kenyatta down? Whether you are Raila, whether you are Mudavadi, Kalonzo, Wetangula, Ruto, are you tearing President Uhuru Kenyatta down? He has 36 days left in office. Are you tearing him down? Are you destroying his legacy? When you call and say, oh, now I know Wetangula and you are all now together, it's a sarcastic way. In Embu, sarcastic way. Oh, now all of us are in the others can do BBI. For us, I can go around and do the roads. My boss has sent me to do the roads. How can your boss send you when your boss has sent another person with a message of condolence? Can't you read the ink on the wall? Miriam, I'm not going to go deeper than that. Can't you, to be very honest, if your wife tells your brother to buy her I don't want to say something here, to buy her something very private, instead of sending you as the owner of the wife, then you go with the brother in the market. You are with, this is your brother. Then he says, your brother buys that handkerchief. Beautiful handkerchief for beautiful people like the beautiful ones, you know, buys the handkerchief. Then you come back home and you find the handkerchief that was, your brother was buying the handkerchief. You come back to your matrimonial home. Walai ya Mungu, you find that handkerchief there. The same with the tag under the same shop. If you don't have resilience in your heart, like a Matanga, you know what you do? Karanja, do you know what you do? You go to the nearest pond of the quarry and jump in. Some of us have resilience. For 43 years, I would never touch my wife, slap her, or to quarrel with her. If I see the quarrel is too much in this house, I get the keys. Those days when I used to have a drink, I can go down and drink down in Croydon or go in the Surrey town, have a drink and come back. I want you to take it seriously. But you find a handkerchief that your brother went to buy. Now it is equivalent of a speech is being given by your junior in a function where you stand tall and tell people that you are told, come to me. Oh, baby, you are very nice. No way. Kama ilikuwa mimi, hii kitu, you know, there is something. When we are talking about this, Miriam, you give me another 2 minutes. When you are talking about this, you also teach people something. Me, I have pride. This man you see here, when you come to bury me one day, I have pride. And when you are going back in your car, Miriam, especially I know, one day you will pray for me. You say, my boss had pride. Me, I don't want anything that disturbs me. Anything that disturbs me, whether from a wife, my children, or any other, thanks God, I don't do business with any partner. I don't have a partner in any business. I'm sorry. Sina, please, Sina mutu. That we partner bring 50 and 60. No. I go in business alone. These are some of the values that you younger men should learn from me. So when this business sinks, it sinks with me. Sitaki kupata mashida na watu. So, for me, I have that pride. Kama kitu nakuwa ngumu, haki ya Mungu, na I go. And I want to give you one good example. That's why I'm still relevant today. By Monday, you are going to see the only outstanding direction that some countries in Africa should take. Otherwise, it is over. And that it will be, Mariam, believe me or not, spearheaded by these words. In 2008, when I was negotiating for peace in Uganda, a very crucial moment, and I want you to learn from this. And I was given a mandate. I did not wake up myself and say, I am negotiating. UN gave me mandate, EU gave me mandate, AU, East African community leaders, Museveni, Kibaki, all the people, they said, that's what we do. When the people I was negotiating for lied to me, when I went to the bush and I found them, then they told me to come and tell a lie that you have not seen us. When I crossed back, I said I've resigned. Because I've seen them. I could not lie to the UN. I could not lie to the EU diplomats, to Chisano, a whole president. I could not lie to Salva Kiir and Riek Machar who were waiting. And I told them in their presence that no, I'm not going to tell a lie. No. I told the rebels, I am not going to tell a lie. If you want to kill me, fine, I'm here. But I'm the only one who can save you. I resigned. When I came back, the Uganda government and the Ruakana Rugunda, Okello Oryem, they told me, don't resign, please. Riek Machar said, don't resign. I said, no. If they want me, baby, follow me. I went to school. They did not go to school. That's my pride. You stopped in primary 7. I'm trying to help you with my tools of analysis. Then you want me to tell a lie. I told them, no. If you want, you'll call me. And Miriam, I want to tell you this is the truth. As I finalize. After about 4 days, the same rebels went to international television, CNN, Voice of America, Radio France. They said, please, we cannot, can you bring back look for? I even told Riek, give me the plane now. I don't need to say, waste time here. I want my plane out. I want to go home. I told the British Prime Minister, who was Gordon Brown. I have a letter from Gordon Brown. I have a letter from Museveni. I have a letter from United Nations. That's why I am still here with you. Nobody can come for me. I did not go there manga-mangering. Like this, some people standing in the church manga-mangering. No way. I went there with dignity to negotiate an agreement. When I find it very difficult, and I found it difficult, Miriam, I resigned. After 5 days, 4 days, they called me back. Now they had to work on my terms. You sign agenda 1, agenda 2. I signed 5 agendas. It's historical. 5 agendas. That's why you see President Museveni today, Uganda is peaceful. Otherwise, he would not be campaigning in the area where he's getting even more votes than the area that had peace. That one, I swear in the name of God, and I look at my hand, is up here, and God is watching. Without this mouth, without my risk, without my determination, resilience, to say, I have resigned. So for me, if I see a handkerchief bought by my brother, when we went with my brother to the same shop, he did not tell me. I will not get annoyed with my brother. I will just walk away. It's the same problem. The speech is being read by Wamarwa. Then you are seated there. Then you are pretending to be, you are friendly. It is the center. There's one word, the center cannot hold. And you are injuring the Kenyans. Kenyans want peace, want direction, want unity. Kenyans now don't have even the money. If you look at the people who are returning their children back to school, Miriam, from school because of school fees, it's very dangerous. I have looked on internet. I've seen some of your headlines. It's painful. Instead of leaders, why I'm wearing this flag here is the flag of Zimbabwe. Why? The respect Mnangagwa has for me. If he doesn't have it for me, I don't go there. Honestly. Because he's the one who introduced me to Mugabe and said, this man lives in London. He will help us to do a PR in London. He had faith in me. This is 2002. So when I went to tell Mugabe that to prepare a transition in Addis Ababa, he said, my son, sit down. He kissed the PS. Said, what is the transition? I said, prepare someone who will come into your feet, Your Excellency. Mugabe went to tell the wife to prepare a transition. Where are we today? Where are we? He went for his deputy president, Vice President Mnangagwa. He wanted to kill him. The last minute, we had to make a telephone call for a plane to pick Mnangagwa from Mozambique. That's why he's alive. And that phone call came from this thief. So please, for me, when things are difficult, madam, I walk away. Don't punish Kenyans. And I want to be very frank here. You are the dilly-dallying, what Miriam is talking, and Karanja and Karim, what all of you are doing is, we have 536 days left to live. I am here to protect the legacy of President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. At least write 2 books that he made the Nanyuki rail to work where the rail had rats in. The rats have disappeared, and now there are men and human beings using the rail. Kisumu rail, people were using the rail for grazing cows. The train is about to go to Kisumu. Maraba rail, the people were uprooting to use the timber of which was put there in 1889. You know that is when that steel arrived in East Africa. Did you know that? Have you noticed that that rail, the steel came in 1880? Uhuru is revamping it. That is what I am interested in. Usiambie mimi jina gine. Karimi, we deal na jina hiyo. Na Karanja, deal not with that name now. My role here is the legacy of the President of the Republic of Kenya. Because I'm an author, I'm writing. Where I am, I'm writing my 2 good books. Because I don't steal people's material. People steal my material. Kagwanja stole my material. And he has written a book that has not sold even 200 copies because of stolen material. You know, these are things that people in Africa do very badly. That's why they have influenced the people like Trump to operate very badly. You know, the manners from here are influencing, giving the good people who used to be, whom we thought they were worth it. So my role here is to safeguard the legacy. When you see me coming on this TV, is to safeguard the legacy of President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. The achievements. And Karanja, I want us, you and I, Karimi, to document for me most of those things you can utilize. The development. There is time, Nairobi is being organized. In 1 year before we depart, there will be a motorway. You can fly quickly. You have an appointment in Naivasha with extra baggage. You know what I mean. In extra baggage. There are people who are used to carrying extra baggage. Quickly you will arrive in Shepai. You have your meeting quickly, return to Nairobi. Even lie to your wife that you were actually in a meeting in Radisson Blue in Nairobi. This is development. It has been brought by Uhuru Kenyatta. Kwa leo, challenge me. Allow anybody who opposes Uhuru Kenyatta to open up this Zoom and come here. From today, Miriam, when you start your thing, open up that way. That we also we have 399-535-8320. Join us. Let's have a debate. A train that had cockroaches now has human beings. The Karanja is doing trade. Can't you see Karanja is bubbling now? Because there is trade there. There are new people coming in Nanyuki. Look at Karanja. Do you look at Karanja's face as being gloomy anymore? He's bubbly. Because he's seeing Nairobi and every weekend he can book his ticket to come back to Nairobi and see see Miriam, see how we work. These are some of the things I want to defend on this television. And I would like to ask Miriam, every time give me a section of the defense of the legacy. Ye mambo ngine, let Mr. Kirim deal with it. And I support him, yes, over that. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And speaking about President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy, I think one of the key things that President Kenyatta is keen to achieve is the unity of Kenya. So yesterday when I was seeing all these leaders talking about the unity of, just a section of Kenyans, I think it got me there worried. And Deputy President said something in regards to that. He said, I agree with those calling for unity of community. We should, however, remember that as we talk about the unity of the community, the togetherness of a nation as a whole is most imperative. That was the DP speaking very well. But as we were talking here yesterday, also remember, he packages his messaging depending on where he is at. But I think on that one, I agree with him. We need a united Kenya. And I think Kalonzo, Musalia, Wetangula coming together, that's okay. NASA is not there anymore, I think. And so they have to fight for their own survival in the political arena. So unity of purpose in this country.
My sister.
Yes.
Before the others come in, I want to ask you one thing. How do you create unity when you have a class struggle? When you have how do you create unity on a class struggle? How do you create unity when you say we are the hustlers and they are the petty bourgeois? We are the lumpens. We are the mkokoteni. Lumpen proletariat versus the petty bourgeois. How do you create unity? Karl Marx said, and I quote, there can never be class differences. There is always the difference. I don't know whether you can interpret it. There can never be any lower class or higher class, but there is a difference. Even if you are a factory owner, in the context, if you read Karl Marx books, even if you're a factory owner, Miriam, you sell this goods to somebody, it means you are not the class. You get the point? You produce for who? But who works for you in the factory? The workers, isn't it? You pay them. But you are also producing cheese. Who is eating the cheese if it is not bought? Can you have the workers? If your cheese is being produced and it is being heaped in a fridge, can you have the workers? There's no class. So if to create a unity or purpose, you need no class. You all go to this unity with no class. I don't know whether you have got me. Or I've been very philosophical this morning.
We are following.
Yeah, Karanja and the panel. Class. Yeah. If you come here and you say we are the downtrodden, you can't get unity. As we speak now today in Nairobi, a hustler office has been opened outside the Jubilee Manifesto. And it is being renovated. Maybe by the weekend or so, or by next week, it will be open. So can you achieve unity? Another question. Unity, since you talked about it. Can you achieve unity with this? Can you, Kenyans, one question I want to leave with you as we jump to other topics. Can you hold an election with the current mechanisms of the electoral systems of Kenya? If you can answer for me that, I can go back and get some ice outside my house and put on my stomach to cool. Can you hold an election, Miriam, with the current mechanisms that you have, and that election will produce a winner takes all? Don't you think that we as I think, let me keep this until we reach the Trump issue. But for now, let's leave it there. Let's leave it there. But my concern was you cannot create a unity of purpose when you come before this unity, before this so-called BBI with a class struggle. When the DP wants to come with a hustle attack, calling the people who went to shake hands dynasties, then it can't work. Tuambiane ukweli. You are just dividing, creating a conflict. In fact, you are preparing a field for slaughter. Because those hustlers will come to Weston Hotel and loot it. Those from Kibera will walk across and loot it. You would not have created a unity. I've asked one question and I want to leave it for you. I know there are very bright brains here. What are the cost benefits of opposing BBI? The question is 70 marks. Tell me, what are the cost benefits? Anybody, Miriam, at your free time, try to answer. And I will tell you what the president is. A very good president. What are the cost benefits of opposing BBI? The cost benefits analysis of opposing BBI. Niambie, naona kirimi. If the DP can answer for me that, then sukuma hii kitu ya BBI ikuje upesi. Turaruane na mjamaa we. Because those are the questions people are going to ask you. 3/4 of the people in Kenya say BBI has very good things. So what is your cost benefit analysis of opposing it? Can you see why they don't oppose it? Can you now you know why they don't oppose it? Because they have overweighed the cost analysis benefit of opposing it is completely negative towards your dream of 2022. Sindio, if you start opposing BBI now, uko 2022 uoni uwezi kupita. That's why people are, there's nobody from this group who can openly come. I don't like it. Because watu ya nyumbani huko na nyuki watakulima. Watu ya Meru watakulima. Watakuja kwako wanasema wewe unadanganya sisi. Honestly, the president has not woken up to sell this document. He is going to wake up to sell this document. And that's why the other side of our great friend, let's call him great friend now, or great Emperor Nero, you know, cannot openly come out and say, I oppose. This is not personal. And the people should not think I am personal. No, I am defending a legacy. But I have to ask questions like, what is the cost benefit analysis of the group that is opposing the legacy of Uhuru Kenyatta? One of the tenets of Uhuru Kenyatta is to leave a legacy of a united Kenya. I rest my case, Miriam.
All right, very well. Thank you so much. Douglas, I've forgotten that question I wanted to ask about the unity. Well, in regards to the unity, because the
unity of purpose. The question was unity of purpose.
All right.
Yeah.
The kind of unity President Uhuru Kenyatta is pursuing is to leave a united Kenya. So when you see these fractional unities of communities, calling for just their own unity, how does that work to undermine the bigger unity of a country, and what dangers does this pose in the bigger scheme of things?
Miriam, thank you for that question. It's a very profound question, and I wanted to be asked that question before, and you have asked it now. What the President of the Republic of Kenya is doing today is cross-generational. It is not unity that serves his own benefits. It is not unity that benefits him alone as a politician. It is cross-generational. It is unity that serves beyond where he is today. President Uhuru Kenyatta has come out as a generational leader, a leader that has embraced the lead of opposition, one of the greatest leaders of opposition in Africa. Nobody matches the Right Honorable Raila Odinga across Africa in terms of opposition politics and also defense of the common man and all that. But the President of the Republic of Kenya agreed to come and shook hands with the Right Honorable Raila Odinga to be able to entrench the peace that we have in this country. Remember, I've said before that we have had cosmetic peace in this country. Cosmetic peace that means that it is only the President of the Republic of Kenya who is not trigger happy. If he's a trigger happy like his deputy and other people in this government and outside government, would be not having a country called Kenya. Remember, I am a person who is very radical in terms of my perspective, especially on the region, on those people that provoke President of the Republic of Kenya. But we saw how he embraced the President of Somalia in Djibouti. We saw how President Uhuru Kenyatta treats Ethiopia. And we know the contempt that our friends and also our neighbors, including Tanzania, how they treat us. But the president mostly does not wake up and respond the way they respond. So what we are seeing today, what our politicians are doing today, they are exposing their own greed for power. They are exposing their own selfishness as a people, which has been transcended by the Right Honorable Raila Odinga and the President of the Republic of Kenya. Miriam, we can take many things away from President Uhuru Kenyatta, but we cannot take away the fact that he's a cross-generational leader. Him and unity of this country are intertwined twins. The President of the Republic of Kenya today can go to Kisumu, commission projects without looking at who is benefiting. Remember, these people have not been voting for him. We have had people who have told us, if you don't vote for our man, we are going to deal with you. We have had a senator, a sitting senator, it is in public domain, Miriam. It is a senator who went on, actually 2 senators went on public and said, if you don't vote for our man, we shall show you our true colors. We shall deal with you. But the President of the Republic of Kenya does not look at people, look at Ndongokundu bypass in Mombasa, look at the bridge in Riwatoni in Mombasa, the way the President of the Republic of Kenya has invested so much money to be able to bring development to the people of Mombasa. Look at Makupa Bridge that has been a death trap for so many years. The President is building a 4 billion bridge across Makupa Channel, and also the Riwaton Bridge, and so many other projects. The government spokesperson Colonel Cyrus Oguna was saying they are at a tune of 400 projects the government has started in Mombasa. These people don't vote for him, but he has embraced them. He has embraced the governor who has been insulting him. Remember one day the governor from Mombasa was insulting the President of the Republic of Kenya, but today they are great allies. This is the kind of unity that we need. We don't need unity of 3 people. through three opposition people who cannot be able to marshal enough support from their own backyard, calling for unity so that they can be able to come and group and also get into power. What Wetangula and his friends are doing is not different from what the Deputy President William Ruto is doing. He is gathering small political parties. President came together with the Right Honorable Raila Odinga to embrace the whole of this country. Miriam, people in Kakamega today enjoy roads built by national government. Remember, these are the same people who have been saying that they cannot vote for President Uhuru Kenyatta. There are people in Northeastern, there are people in Meru who are enjoying fruits of his leadership and also the unity of purpose and development that he has brought. Whereas these people, most of these people, he knows in his heart that they don't support him. But at this end, if these people were calling for unity across the nation, not across three politicians to gain power, President Uhuru Kenyatta is not looking for any power post 2022, Miriam. And if BBI is passed, remember we are going to start afresh. If he's going to run, Kenyans are going to vote for him. Remember that is very important, Miriam. But at the end of the day, we need to be able to get to our leaders and also tell them the truth as a people. One, we cannot have Modama and another person. Miriam, just a moment. We cannot have two people or three persons coming together to align and also call for unity for their own stomachs and also selfish gains. We want intergenerational unity. We want unity that can go beyond Moses Wetangula, beyond Musalia Mudavadi and also Kalonzo Musyoka. We want the unity that the President of the Republic of Kenya has been able to bring. This is not cosmetic peace, unity that was in NASA, and now that they want to form another small coalition, and also Deputy President, what they are trying to do is below standards, and they are stooping too low. And the danger, number one, is that it is going to bring, as Jevan was saying, it is going to bring back tribal groupings and all that. But what we are seeing President Uhuru Kenyatta is doing something that will outlive him. Today, the BBI project, if it goes through, is going to outlive the president and also the Right Honorable Raila Odinga. So I'm calling on these opposition leaders, when they are talking about leadership and also unity for this nation, they should go beyond themselves and beyond their two families or three families. Media.
All right, thank you so much. And Douglas, thank you for highlighting some of the key things and initiatives that the Jubilee government, courtesy of President Uhuru Kenyatta, has been able to achieve since coming to power. And you've mentioned, of course, the Kisumu port. You've mentioned other infrastructural development that has been able to happen, and particularly in areas that might not have been very friendly to President Uhuru Kenyatta and never voted him the 3 times he's had an opportunity to be voted for in this country. But he has transcended that, understanding that he is the symbol of national unity, and so he has to be seen to be working to all, for all Kenyans, and President Uhuru Kenyatta, I think, has been doing that. Will this also go to speak to perhaps the sensitivity of the issue of marginalization, because that has been an issue since we got our independence. A lot of parts in these countries, because of how they were aligned or not aligned to the government, they seems to have been left out systematically when it comes to matters development. So President Uhuru Kenyatta, when he's going out throughout the country and addressing some of these things and making sure that the developmental agenda is spread across the country, is he being sensitive to the issue of marginalization, and has he been able to address this adequately? And speaking about the symbol of national unity, which is what the president of a country should be, and the president of the Republic of Kenya, how is he doing in this regards, Javen?
Thank you very much, Miriam, for that question. And thank you very much, Miriam, for that
we can't hear you. We seem to be having a problem with your, or maybe it's from the studios here, with your reception. It's from your part, the audio.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Miriam, for that. And I would like to... Am I audible?
No, you're not. Unfortunately. Can you work on that? And then maybe I'll come back to you.
Miriam, as Jevan is working on that, let me remind you something. In
Please
this
make
country...
it short,
and also,
because we have so many other things we need to talk about. So we need to make our comments a little bit shorter. Yes.
Remember, the president is not obligated to vote to go and take development to the people that didn't vote for him. Why didn't President Moi revive the Kisumu rail that he ran down? Why didn't Kibaki not revive the rail system to Kisumu, and also revive the rail system to to Mount Kenya, and all the development that you have seen in the coastal region. Remember, the coastal region has been very hostile to government, saying they have been marginalized and all that. Miriam, this is the year of the truth. We need to tell each other the truth. The president has gone beyond his political inclination and also his own political beliefs.
And that's
a human.
That's what I was saying, because the president of the Republic of Kenya should be a symbol of national unity. So in regards to how we've been seeing President Uhuru Kenyatta operate and work across the country, how is he doing in regards to being this very important symbol in the Republic of Kenya? How would you rate his call, Jevan?
Yeah, thank you very much, Miriam. Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. And I would like to say this. And initially, you have asked Douglas about the national unity around around the unity of purpose, rather than the unity of a few regions and communities. One thing, Miriam, that I'm proud of President Uhuru Kenyatta today through the BBI is that we are doing away with this peace that is centered on characters and individuals. Because, for example, the unity that Musalia Mudavadi, Kalonzo Musyoka, and Wetangula are calling for is unity that is centered on individuals, such that when they are not in politics, that unity will not exist. When they come from politics, the Kamba and the Luhya nations will disintegrate from who they are today. Therefore, we need to do away with that politics. When you look at the Rift Valley, we have the deputy president and the Gideon Moi, who are like the kingpins and the bigger political giants in that region. When these people are not in politics, then this region they have a kind of a vacuum in leadership. And that is what the BBI seeks to address, to bring this issue of national unity into a document, into something that is legal, into something that will be there even when President Uhuru Kenyatta is not in office, even when Raila Odinga is not in the handshake, even when a deputy president is not the deputy president of this country. That is the peace that the president is talking about, a permanent solution to the problems that have been affecting this nation. But what this unity, the Musalia Mudavadi are calling, is temporal, is temporarily, and it seeks to achieve just a short-term goals. There's no long-term achieve goals that are on this cause of unity. Even the mobilization that we have around, even this unity that we are seeing Deputy President seeking, is temporal, is temporarily, just for the sake of getting into possession of powers. Then these things will be done, and nothing will be talked about this peace of these coexistence and peaceful coexistence. And that is something that we don't want to go to that direction. And that is why the president has brought a document that will be there even when they are not in office, even when the generation to come will find a united nation. And by doing so, Miriam, when we expand the executive, we bring more leaders on board. Therefore, we reduce this thing of dual die elections, where people go to election as a matter of life and death. When we have that kind of a scenario where we have expanded executive, many community will come on board, and this thing of having a very election that is so strong that you can do everything to be in power will be done away, and people now will concentrate on the agenda, on the ideological part of politics, rather than this thing of just getting to power. And that is the kind of agenda that the president has. Because at the end of the day, Miriam, we will strengthen even our political parties. Eventually, when we expand these things and we bring all community together, what we will have is political parties that are strong, that are based on ideological, that are not tribal, that are not regional party, but national parties that have a national outlook, that are there to serve the interest of all the nation, of all the country, regardless of who you are and regardless of where you come from. And the president, Miriam, as the head of state, he has taken development to all corners of this country. And it's high time that people are feeling like it's not a matter of who is in the presidency, whether he comes from your tribe, whether he comes from your region, but the character of the person who is on this seat is what matters a lot. Therefore, when you work on this, we Kenyans, we must look on to who is in this position, because we must end up having an individual who is self-centered, and he might concentrate on taking development to where he comes from. But the president is setting the bar too high, that development is a right to to all Kenyans, regardless of where they come from, regardless of which community they come from. And you, as you have seen this country, development at all corners of this country. And people are saying that Kenya is under construction, because when you walk to Marsabit, when you go to Garissa, when you go to Kisumu, Nanyuki, everywhere, all corners of this country, there's a national project that is ongoing. And that is something that we must embrace and talk about, because President is doing quite well on that. And one thing that President must concentrate and not lose track on it is the issue of the BBI and bringing all Kenyans together, so that we have a country where everybody will be happy, and we do away with these small things of Mount Kenya region or Western region. Let's talk of a country, because we are all one bigger family called Kenya. Thank you.
All right, very well. Thank you. Thank you so much. And of course, adding to that, well, my village right now is all lit up, because courtesy of the last mile rural electrification project, also that was brought about by President Kenyatta and his government, is all lit. Doctor, we have electricity all over. So I'm not complaining. I am a happy person.
When are you taking us there?
Courtesy of the last mile that President Kenyatta brought about. So I am a very happy person.
Question we are asking.
Yes.
You know, there is this saying in the Bible that if you don't ask, you don't get.
Okay.
So when are we being invited there?
We will go. We will go. All our schools, all the schools there have lit up. Classrooms have been built by CDF.
You know, the younger men on the panel might not be very honest.
Yes.
Ask, but things must be asked. At least I want to see that last mile in Siaya.
People have benefited. The interiors there in the villages, people have benefited, yes.
All of us have cars. When I come to Kenya, let's get into our cars. The road, I'm told, from Nairobi.
It's fantastic. Even all the way to my village. The road is beautiful,
In fact, we must begin, Karimi and Miriam, arrange that type of program where the Punchline Africa TV can go mobile. We have a mobile unit. We have mobile units in Nairobi. We can use them to go and broadcast from that last unit of game, last unit of Migori,
yes,
the last unit of Garissa. Tuko na magari. You remember the vehicles that did the campaign of 2017. I will call them, they will be here. You will go. I will tell them to come to Nairobi, so that we can see what President Uhuru Kenyatta has achieved. Because that's my aim now, my legacy. We have no time to talk about this lumpenism or, you know, these small things.
And Doctor.
Yes.
Doctor, remember, especially in Meru, there are so many roads. The stadium has now been built into international standards. We need to go see that. The bypasses in Meru town, there is no traffic jam in Meru town. And also the roads in Tharaka Nithi, the stadiums in Tharaka Nithi, and ask the residents those questions, the roads, how they have been able to transform them. I've seen a clip that has been done by President's team in Meru about the bypasses, and people are talking about how it has transformed their lives and businesses, and I think that is the best thing we can do this year.
Please, I will talk to the general manager later on by phone, and we arrange for such trips, such that once in a while, in a month, our teams can be broadcasting live from Mombasa to see Baba Dogo. What is it called?
Dogo.
Baba Dogo.
The Riwatoni Bridge.
Yes, we want to show the examples. We want to show that Uhuru is not a loafer. Uhuru is not too much of a violent hostage taker. Wow. It's not. He doesn't take people hostage. Iko watu hapa Kenya wanachukua watu hostage. Hey, wake up. Uko Kenya. You wake up. For us, in our country, we have been taken hostage. To lament before Emperor Nero. Even you have to ask for some tea. from Emperor Nero. You want to sleep. Do you know that there are certain people, if you want to sleep, you have to ask for permission? But President Uhuru Kenyatta has done great job, and don't allow it to go down without us keeping his legacy. Tunarudi kwa hii mambo ya kila siku. How do you predict 2022? Did we know that the COVID will come and all of us become COVID breathless? Hey, don't predict, don't fight God, jamen. Msijaribu hiyo. These people who are saying candidate what? Same God willing. Trump, you see what Trump has done, Miriam? Mm-hmm. Time came when he was saying God was not there. When he counted the days, how many left? 9. Wow. This thing is going. They are going to discover the Russian link. I will go to jail. You know, they will discover how he actually forced the Attorney General, diluted the report. Ataenda jelani. Tena jela ya America, they don't care whether you're president or who. Watakufunga. So the man looked at the days. 20th of January. This thing is going. You had to unleash goons. In Kenya, you seem to have such a person. And be careful. He's now saying he needs power. Power. Everywhere. Power is decorating buildings. This is sijui mkokoteni what? Mkokoteni 2, wheelbarrow 3, wheelbarrow 4. Enyi lakini mchunge, Mungu is the one who knows where to take us. Mm-hmm. The legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta, I am very interested, and I believe I've seen my brother Kidi on the block. He has arrived with very good colors of Bob wine. Fantastic on a Good Friday. You can lead us that way towards Kisumu, towards Miriam's game home, the last minter.
The last mile.
The village is lit. Na sisi tukae kwa, you know, we sit under that lit. Kama tunakunya chai usiku overlooking the Lake Victoria. Sindio? We want that breeze. Hapana kutuacha hapa kwa barabara huko Nairobi peke yake. We want to be there.
Oh no.
Maybe we can.
And Doctor, also, Buddy has been lighting where I stay. The other day I was shocked to look behind, the backyard, and I saw a nice street light. So Buddy's lighting here, and Last Mile is lighting my village. So I am good.
No, Miriam, that's a very good way you stay.
Yes. And he put some cabro also for me. So that's fantastic. Buddy.
We wanted the village where we can also create village acquaintances.
All right. Okay. Kidi, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us. And a very good morning to you. Dog and Ataka village. Last Mile.
Kidi, is it not worth going to the village acquaintances? You know the warmth of the village is higher than the degrees of the warmth of the town in Pangani or in Ikare.
Yes. Well, okay, actually, that is true. And besides that, there is a road called A1.
Yes.
That leaves Ahero all the way to Kisii and then to Migori, where I come from. That used to be it used to be a very terrible stretch. It was so narrow, and there was a lot of fatalities on that road. The last time I flew to Kisumu and then drove to the village, the road is so wide.
Yes.
The road is marked, and you can do 100 kilometers per hour comfortably, so that in 2.5 hours you are in Migori.
Don't deny us. We are just
that is before mentioning the port of Kisumu.
It's actually beautiful. Kidi, I've seen that road from Ahero. Yes.
Even to have acquaintances. I don't know whether you have seen where I'm heading. We have We see the light of body in town. We don't see the light. We want to see the village acquaintances. On the way to Siaya, we shall have a lot of friends. We shall stop in Kisumu. We want to have, by that time, the curfew will be over. We want to interact. And especially that last minute village.
Last mile. That road you mentioned there, Kid, yes, I've seen it, and it's really beautiful. I think they've completed it right now. And you've mentioned you have to fly to Kisumu for you to go to Migori. I think perhaps now we need an airstrip over there.
That's true.
An airstrip over there. So that is something for the leadership there to think about. Yeah.
No.
Airstrip.
This thing now, Miriam, this is a national and international television. You can see we are linking right from where we are. We are being listened to in Zimbabwe, in all places. The Zimbabweans are very many here. You can see on Twitter and other places. Look, let's ask the government that lessen the time of going to Migori.
The struggle.
Because Migori is a very serious center point.
It is.
Of entry to Tanzania.
Yes.
Put an airstrip. And don't allow 540 to fly there.
540 has been, has it been, it's not flying
because
right now.
540 is an accident in waiting.
KQ has the jumbo jet. I think it does the smaller strips, which is good.
Yes.
It's quite comfortable
Please,
and safe.
Jumbo. Don't 540 even if my mom has died. Don't ever book me a ticket there, because this is where you are gonna find it. That plane is not worth. I'm being honest.
They might sue us.
No, you sue me for what? It is all over the newspaper.
Yes,
if they cannot pay, if they cannot pay their own workers,
Yes.
then what are they?
Would they have the sufficient capacity
to sue Kidi? Well, we have Kidi here. Kidi is the lawyer. He will represent us. But hey.
No, but I cannot fly. Miriam,
yes.
Is it wrong for me to say I will not fly KLM?
No.
I can now tell you frankly that even if there is no flight towards Amsterdam, I don't fly KLM.
Why?
Why don't you ask me why?
I just did.
First of all, their seats are very small. I'm a very short man. 2, the women are very ugly. They don't give you, it's tourism. They are old. You need younger ladies.
Let's not be sexist.
I'm not a sexist. Even the younger men. No. The aeroplane is a place of change of life.
It's just a mode of transport to your next destination.
You need models on the plane to attract more passengers.
What?
But not to grieve, to bring pain and anguish to the passenger like me. I've come home from home with pain. Then I reach the aeroplane to have more pain. KLM, as you are reading your book, the ladies come and shut off the light and even force you with a blanket to sleep until you reach Amsterdam. Have you tried to use it? One day you'll see. Very rude. So for me, the only airline that I fly, even if I'm going to United States of America, I come from London, where I am, fly into Nairobi. Those days, Nairobi did not have direct flight into New York. Johannesburg, Airbus, South African Airbus, where the southern route towards Brazil and park up Caribbean. Then you land. I have never used KLM across the Atlantic in Europe, never. And if you find me there, block me. If it's not there, I don't use it. I'm sorry.
Right. Okay.
So thank you very much for that developmental thing that you brought, which has made us to talk about all this. The last light in the village.
The last mile.
done by
Rural
Uhuru Muigai
electrification. Yes.
Kenyatta.
Yes, my village is lit. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Tumupatie credit bwana.
Absolutely. And the schools, the children are able to learn longer times, and they're able to go to school very early to start their learning very early. And that has encouraged even a lot of boarding schools there in my village since the last
By the way,
project. Yes.
Miriam, you talk about schools. I welcome Magoha's decision to ban journalists.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with you.
We had, Friday is a day for punch. So don't restrict us only to some
I think
things.
that too much negativity was making a lot of parents very, very anxious. It was creating a lot of anxiety and panic.
What the rest of the panel think, but for me, Magoha's stopping journalists from popping.
I agree. That was
some
the right
of the
move.
journalists in Kenya. Your journalists in Kenya have become. I don't want to use the name, but they are khaki envelope journalists. Khaki. Unamupatia. By the way, where is Harvey? Nelson Harvey, who said he would drink tea in Parliament? The Friday is a day to ask these questions. Where is Harvey gone? The last we saw him was with Millicent Omanga. They were very busy. What has happened? Anybody of you on the panel who knows where Nelson Harvey is today, or is swollen in Omanga's operational activities?
The last time I checked, he was insulting Aroya Soyinkara Mpa on Facebook.
Okay, he's still there. He didn't drink. He didn't jump on Parliament.
No, he went on to Parliament, and when he went to occupy Parliament, he took tea and mandazi and went home.
See, tea works wonders.
At least, Miriam, there is a picture going around the social media. One Kenyan was found inside the House of Congress. Are you people also exporting something wrong there, Mr. Okidi? About this. Otieno was found inside Congress.
Otieno wanted to have a feel of what Capitol Hill feels
Can you
like.
explain to us what it is? This is a 2021 is a day of talking.
Otieno was just curious.
Daktari, curiosity that killed the cat pushed Otieno into the hearts of Congress.
Don't you think they are going to arrest that boy more than the whites?
Of course.
They are now. I am sure by now they have arrested Otieno.
Well, it is also an opportunity for us to see that the doctrine of due process of the law and equality of the law is not just a rhetoric in American politics, but it is a living.
Be found in Congress.
And then in Uganda we have Mukasa and Babidi. They are experts. One is Mukasa is very nice in buying suits, and then Babidi is very good at selling what you know. So in Dubai, they put a visa ban on Ugandans. Because when these ladies arrived there, they found the Arab ladies wear their clothes up to their feet. The feet have to sip the sand where you are passing. But the Ugandan ladies had to show their inner parts, inner clothes. So they spoiled the whole of. And given the sunshine, which is high degrees, over 80 degrees Fahrenheit, the men in Dubai created a problem until it reached the emir of Kuwait, of UAE, the king, the sheikh there. They banned us. We got visa ban. We have to get a visa before you go there. So these are some of the things that we Africans, luckily enough, we have not gone there with fraud. The men Africans who are known for fraud are from one West African state, which is well known. So we can't name it here for purposes of protecting Africa. because Karanja's group, the man after stealing the money, he came with here in Nairobi and he was found here in Thika. You remember that guy? Why is it that Thika is related to Karanja? Maybe explain to us all these activities. The people who dug a tunnel in Thika, KCB, are from Thika. So what is the problem?
Maybe it's because, it is in the county of Kiambu. That is part of where we have a lot of these people in their numbers.
That's a very dangerous stereotype. Let's not go down that road.
I think the reason why there are so many people who are digging these tunnels in banks and all that, it's because we have JKUAT in Thika. Because these are university students who are studying engineering, and they would also study buildings and how they are made and also how they are constructed.
Don't say buildings. You are now in an advanced television architectural focus. Please, you not study of buildings, Baba, my young man. Architectural. Eh?
Thank you, Dr. Masanga.
Am I wrong, Kidi?
You're right, Daktari.
Yes, tuko hapo kwa Kiingereza watu wanaangalia nchini yote. Don't say buildings. You know when you say buildings, somebody will think Miriam is not happy. You see, she's looking down because she expected you to pronounce architectural operation.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yes. This is the day when you have to laugh a bit, smile a bit. You have been doing a very great job during the week. So on Friday like this, bring in things. You saw what Miriam brought, which was last minute light. The village that had never seen light, is seeing light. So how do you sell Uhuru's legacies by? Hapo ni hapo, wacha tupige kura ya BBI. Tuingize BBI. That was, we have now killed Miriam's topic number 2, BBI. Sindio tunamaliza? Let's wacha to move. Next. Lydia, I am hastening you are going home early.
True. I thank you for that. Yes.
So that we can go home early.
So let's just hasten. Yes.
Preparing.
All right. So Kangáta's letter of confusion, that also happened this week. And we saw yesterday Muranga leaders coming out and castigating. They said they had a conversation with Kangáta, and they agreed that BBI has a lot of things that are beneficial to all Kenyans, and so they did not talk so much because they're elders, so they're very careful and wise in how they express some of these things. But they said they had a very good talk with Kangáta, but of course they're saying whatever he did was a bit was uncalled for. So this letter still, especially that side of Deputy President is running with it, and we've seen also this week the double speaking, about the same thing and the BBI and all that. So I don't know what are we expecting moving forward. And perhaps, Kidi, since you just joined us, maybe you can start us off with that.
On the letter by Kangáta, one thing is that ultimately we have been able to listen to various voices from the central Kenya. And one thing is that is emerging out very clearly is that there are a huge swath of the populace from that region of the country who are deeply pro-BBI. And then, of course, being a democracy, there are also a population within that part of the country that, of course, have reservations. But then the general thinking of the Central Kenya establishment, people that ordinarily are behind President Uhuru Kenyatta, are alive the fact that the BBI process would be beneficial to that part of the country, Miriam.
Okay, thank you so much, Javan. Moving forward, how are we likely to see this play out? And the position of Kangáta as the leader of government majority in Senate, how is he supposed to do his work now moving forward? What should we expect from that office?
One thing that I expect is Kangáta, he should resign, and if not, he should be forced to resign or to be relegated to where he was, and not to be the deputy chief whip, because initially he was, but to be just another member of Senate who does not have the leadership role in the Senate, because he has come out clearly that he does not support the president, and he was a Tanga in the first place, and that is where he is heading to. And Miriam, we have seen, and this started with the 10 counties governor from Mount Kenya region, who came out clearly and said that the BBI is a good document that will benefit the whole country, not only the Mount Kenya region. And the leaders from Murang'a yesterday, they came out and they came up with the same message that BBI is something that is good. And therefore, this leaves Irungu Kangáta as a man who did this out of his own will and from coercion from those people he works too. And that is the Tanga wing of Jubilee. And as you have seen the message, he was really speaking the mind of the deputy president in that letter, and he is a friend to deputy president, and nobody has forced him to support the president Hulu legacy. He can go out there and continue campaigning with the deputy president. And one thing that they should understand is that BBI is here, and here is to stay, and BBI is up to implementation. And after we go for that vote, Miriam, you'll be surprised. If we are able to get almost above 500,000 signatures from the central Kenya, we can as well get more than 60% of the votes in support of the BBI, because nobody has come out to campaign for this thing, this BBI in the region. We are still on the signature verification, and then it will be presented to the county assemblies, and from there the bill will be set, and it will be campaigned in this region, and you'll see people now supporting from a point of knowledge. Now those people who don't support, they don't support because of the propaganda and the empty rhetoric that have been poisoned in their mind by the deputy president, who have worked hard in Mount Kenya to ensure that people hate the president. People don't see the president as their leader anymore, and that's something that will come to an end. Because the day Mr. President and his ally steps in Mount Kenya region want to point out the developmental agenda that the Jubilee government has achieved, the campaign agenda that they have achieved in the Mount Kenya region, you'll see this Hasralism agenda being eroded. And then number two, when president comes to campaign for BBI and all his allies in Mount Kenya region, they will tell us the truth, and people finally will understand the truth, and they'll see the hypocrisy with the deputy president. And you have seen the fears with the deputy president. He does not oppose the BBI directly, but now he is just he is escaping and saying that he is leaving BBI with those people who support it, and he has more important duties, and that is to support the developmental agenda of the president, because he knows when BBI hits the ground, he will have nowhere to run into, but the hypocrisy and the lies that he has been propagating in this region will come into limelight, and people will hate him even more. And Miriam, finally, you see all these things in Mount Kenya region. This hate that is there, it is because President Uhuru Kenyatta has not altered any words against Deputy President, who is trying to take his backyard by force and using all means. The day President comes to this region, you saw when he came to Tomotomo, there was a lot of anticipation that President will not be welcomed. Oh, the Deputy President, the strong man in this region. But the day President came to Tomotomo region, people came out of the closed businesses. They came on the road singing good song to praise the President. And from there, that is when these people got fear. And that is why today you have never heard a word from Rigathi Gachagua, because he was embarrassed. And he said that people will not come. But the day people stepped and welcomed the President, Rigathi Gachagua is nowhere to be seen. He is not in the public limelight, and he is working on something else, because they have fears. And after his opponent in 2017 election, Peter Wero was given the mandate to spearhead the BBI region in the entire Nyeri County. That is, he is on the drawing board. Therefore, President Uhuru Kenyatta remains the man with the strategy, remains the man to take this country forward, and that is something that will come to play. And the likes of Irungu Kangáta, they will have nowhere to run to but to come back and to surrender to the president and his team, because we are benefiting the Mount Kenya region and the whole country at large, because we want one united country called Kenya, not these small fragments calling themselves Luya Nation and the Kamba Nation, Kikuyu Nation. We want one bigger nation of all Kenyans who will represent the Griamas and the Oromos if we don't have a BBI in place talking in them, so that we have a permanent remedy, not the short-term goals. Thank you.
Very well, thank you so much. And it is interesting you've mentioned what the Deputy President said the other day in regards to the BBI. Now that you're looking at this Kangáta's letter of confusion that touched a lot on the BBI and how he thinks Central Kenya feels about it. And this is what Deputy President William Ruto said. The BBI has its own people. You have asked what they give asked that they give the document for you to read, and I urge them to do so because Kenya belongs to all of us and it is Kenyans who will decide, Ruto said. As for me, I decided to focus on national projects because there is just so much to do in this country which requires my attention and that of the President. Douglas, lakini pole pole. Kangáta's position moving forward, how will you that sounds, the letter that he wrote had so much, borrowed from what the deputy says.
Yeah. Before I say what I want to say, because I want to say nothing but the truth is not the right thing. Because
go ahead.
On this thing...
That was a joke. Just go ahead.
Thank you, Miriam. Because at the end of the day, Kangáta spoke and wrote a letter. We need to see, in politics, we have to see what is being said and what is not being said. What is said and what is not being said is that after Kangáta released that letter, Kindiki, who is a senior lawyer and a professor, went on rampage on social media and everywhere, saying if they are going to sack Kangáta, we are going to stop it. Mulkome, none other than the former leader of majority in Senate, went on rampage saying if they sack Kangáta because of that letter, what was in that letter that would have made Jubilee Party to sack Kangáta? Because Kenyans are not asking themselves questions, why is Tangatanga more concerned about the letter more than we Jubilee Party members and also those that support President Uhuru Kenyatta? Number one. Number two, it is Tangatanga people who knew before, even the government itself, that the letter has been released. Then Itumbi and released that letter and released the details of the Kangáta interview. So we have to see the hypocrisy of who Deputy President is and his machinations, especially on Mount Kenya, and how he has manipulated the people, and also how his people have been able to handle the whole thing. Remember, they have been more concerned, more than they believed. They believed the people are us who support BBI. In Mount Kenya region, we have been able to see Kangáta, who after taking 25 million from Jubilee Party to campaign in Gaturi, they squandered that money and he has no explanation. After he was asked how that money has been spent, now he has written a letter and also ran away to Tangatanga saying that he is being targeted for removal from office. Whereas people like us have been calling for Kangáta to resign, the government or even the Jubilee Party itself in its ranks have not called for his own resignation. Why is Deputy President forcing us to sack Kangáta so that he can move to Tangatanga in the morning, whereas at night is in Tangatanga? Deputy President has appeared as one of the greatest enemies of Mount Kenya people, and we as the residents of Mount Kenya people, of Mount Kenya region, have seen the machinations that have been employed to embarrass the president and also trash his legacy in the whole of the region. Remember, there is the Mau Mau road that is linking over 4 counties, whose works is, I think, at around 40% or 50%. The road is taking place, and I'll take every one of us there. It links 4 counties, it's a big road, and they are not talking about those things. Today we have tea regulations, a bill that the president signed into law that protects the tea farmers in Mount Kenya region and every other part of the country from cartels. Why is Rigathi Gachagua, why is Irungu Kangáta is not telling us that? What they are telling us is BBI has no support. It is BBI that we have not even spoken about even in our villages and even our towns. It is only Deputy President and his people who has been besmirking the BBI report and also telling people, do you need wheelbarrows or you need BBI? They said they need wheelbarrows, and people in Mount Kenya region are waiting for millions of wheelbarrows so that they can be able to be empowered economically even through their party that we have formed. So that we can see Deputy President William Ruto for who he is and the Kangáta and their friends. We need wheelbarrows before we decide if we can support BBI, because that is what William Ruto has spent millions of money in Mount Kenya asking people, do you want BBI or you want wheelbarrow? The president himself and also the BBI team has not decided on Mount Kenya. Remember, the president once said in Mangu in 2020, in early 2020, he said, when the mountain speaks, people listen, and he knows who speak in the mountain. So anything that Kangáta has been trying to do, we have seen the roaders cautioning him. We've seen people from Murang'a. We've seen the governor of Murang'a actually who had a big drive in General Yora Stadium to bring BBI report signatures and also gather people and to help them to be able to sign the signatures for the BBI. And again, we need to also see what is not being said in Mount Kenya. Deputy President William Ruto has been sitting on sinking sand, especially on Mount Kenya region. Mount Kenya region can see the Mau Mau Road. The Mount Kenya people can see the revived road. The Mount Kenya people can see the drawing of Keno Marua Road. That road is being drawled today and people can see that. People can see the dams and stadiums and the roads that have been built across Mount Kenya region. But what Dr. Kangáta is not saying, Irugu Kangáta is not saying in Mount Kenya and his rate of confusion, they are not trying to tell us Deputy President has been sitting on sinking sand in Mount Kenya and people in Mount Kenya don't vote the way William Ruto thinks they will vote.
Well, Deputy President William Ruto said those roads you're mentioning, that is what he's been focusing on.
Miriam, please, I want to be very candid, and today I'm very civil and I'm very open with him. William Ruto has never focused on roads. You said before and you said another day that William Ruto has been select on the ones that he uses in particular regions. When he goes to Western, he tells them something. When he goes to Kambani, he says something else. When he comes to Mount Kenya, he starts talking about the roads because that is the greatest legacy that the President Uhuru Kenyatta has been able to stamp on. Miriam, if William Ruto is development conscious and he does not support BBI because the other people support BBI, where was he when President Uhuru Kenyatta was building the fishing point in Ramu? Where was he when President Uhuru Kenyatta was opening the Ruaton bridge that I'm very fond of and you are very fond of and every Kenyan is fond of in Ruaton in Mombasa County? Where was William Ruto when Kenoru Stadium was being upgraded into international standards? Miriam, where was William Ruto when the bypasses in Meru County at a tune of 2.99 billion shillings were being upgraded and also opened up to the public? Miriam, where was William Ruto when the drawing of Kenol Marua Junction up to Marua Junction Road was being drawn at a tune of billions? Miriam, where was William Ruto? Because he's development conscious, we need to see this, and for who William Ruto is, when the Mau Mau Road that has been reaching 4 counties, Miriam, 4 counties, where was William Ruto at that time? Miriam, where was William Ruto when Ruringu Stadium in Nyeri was being opened by President and the works are at an advanced stage? Miriam, before I go, where was William Ruto when Kirobia Stadium in Tharaka Nithi County was being built by President Uhuru Kenyatta? This stadium is almost complete. Miriam, before I go, where was William Ruto when the road from Marimanti to Ura Gate in Tharaka Nithi County in Tharaka constituency was being built by President Uhuru Kenyatta? Miriam, before I go, where was William Ruto when the roads in Chuka town were being tarmacked by the administration of President Uhuru Kenyatta?
Right.
Miriam, the last one, before I go,
yes.
Where was William Ruto, this development conscious leader,
yes.
when the Tuka, Chera, Katwana road was being built in the Rakanidi County, Chuka, yes. Ngombe County, yes. when it was being launched and also being built by President Uhuru Kenyatta? Miriam, before I go, let me answer you this. William Ruto was launching fake projects in Kisii, Meru. Every project that William Ruto has launched in this country has not taken off, Miriam. That is where William Ruto has been, and Kenyans know, and Kenyans are not foolish, and they can see who is launching projects, and they can see who is in charge, Miriam.
All right, thank you so much. Now, Deputy President, all these questions being directed to me, I need the answers now. We need to know where you've been. Deputy President,
Miriam, can I come in?
Go ahead,
to
Doctor.
give a vote of thanks,
yes,
and a compliment to my fellow panelists for immediately picking the spirit of Shakespeare. That and in Julius Shakespeare Macbeth, you remember those the you have recited very well, and this is exactly you have summarized the legacy. And thank you for actually saying the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta.
He's brought us up to date. Yes.
All those things that Uhuru Kenyatta has done in those areas. And I agree with you totally. Let me take this opportunity also, just 1 minute, to make a comment on Kangáta's letter. The letter bears hallmarks of all hallmarks of Dennis Itumbi and a group. It's not Kangáta. was written, and he was told, how much do you want? We shall pay you. Let's put your signature on. This is the drama of that sijui niko na tape ya Labanda. Is it Labanda?
Lamanda.
Lamanda.
Yeah. Lamanda.
This is the Lamanda circus.
Oh.
The man says
Doctor,
it was a plot.
Back.
It was a plot to kill. But we have not seen the plot up to today. This letter, whatever it is, if you have them remix and put them on a pickup to go to a political rally to seek votes for the yes BBI, itakuwa na moto. If you have the kiddies and throw them in Migori, if you have the Karanjas, throw them in Nanyuki, where will you get a no vote? There you are. The guy is done very well. Summary of all the roads. Summary of Nairobi. Before I go.
William. All right.
Miriam, before I go. Nairobi.
You're right
from
my name there.
Airport,
yes.
Mombasa Road, up there, Naivasha Road.
Yes, because
Miriam,
Doctor, and I think it's important to highlight these things. Yes,
yes,
because the conversation and the politics that has been from some leaders from.
I have no more words.
Yes.
Thank you. And this is you have today energized my desire to defend the legacy, and that's what we want. We are not going to spend the time to speak to people who are looking for power, only to have power. We want to spend the time to show the achievements of the handshake. You will not build a road from Mombasa Jomo Kenyatta Airport, from Mombasa Road Jomo Kenyatta, if Raila had not shaken hands with Uhuru Kenyatta. Hiyo ya kweli, tuambiane ya ukweli. Hiyo tuambiane ya ukweli. Matsanga would not even, if the plane of Matsanga could stop at Kisumu Airport, I would tell the airport captain to hide me in the cockpit. But today, I can fly in Kisumu, go out, check in a hotel. Sindio, isn't that the handshake? I can check in a hotel and test the waters. After all, Kisumu has the best waters, as you know. I don't want to say more than that. So, so this question of Kangáta, sijui mnasema Kangáta, what is this? Kangáta is a man who is comic. He grew up in a comic style. And once you grow like Emperor Nero, you don't even remember how you grew. The Emperor of Rome adopted the Emperor Nero, married the mother, and brought Nero to Rome. When he died, Emperor Nero took over the empire. But Emperor Nero did not remember how he grew. It is like a Kangáta has not remembered how from he was dancing reggae to become a leader of majority whip in the Senate. Please, at times where you have walked, remember the bridge that crossed you.
All right.
That's all I can say on the letter. Okay. Don't destroy the bridge that brought you from a reggae dancing ghetto operative to a high table, and then you destroy the high table. Hiyo ya ukweli, because Miriam, you brought us on Friday speak the truth. Am I wrong, Mr. Kirimi?
No, sir.
You told me to speak the truth.
Yes.
This guy used to sing Bob Marley songs. He was lucky. He came up, and Uhuru Kenyatta recently looked at his eye in the Jubilee Party. They gave him what he has. He has no voice even to be a leader. But they said, well, who are up? But if he has decided to go back, it should not bother anybody. Once President Uhuru Kenyatta starts visiting the central region, Mount Kenya, this noise will be over.
But how is he expected to lead government business in the Senate if he's reading from a different script from President Uhuru Kenyatta?
I mean, let me tell you, Kirimi has raised 1 point. No, Karanja raised 1 point. To say, no, is it Kirimi or Karanja who said Kindiki and Murkomen moved very fast to defend him? Was it, who was Kirimi? Yes. Why did they move very fast to defend him? Because they wrote the letter. They wanted to cause confusion. You see, for you people who are on this panel, the hatred is not the hatred of BBI. Now, inataka mjue hii kitu for the last time. The hatred is against Raila Amolo Odinga. And the people are not coming out openly. Sindio Kirimi?
Yes, sir.
They have taken personal hatred against the former prime minister. We must talk the truth. And that is not very good politics. I don't have personal hatred against Raila Odinga. I don't have personal hatred against Deputy President William Samoei Ruto. But I have difficulties of his policies. If we find each other, in fact, if we knock into each other, which is very, very, very rare, because my lane is very different. He will say, hello, how are you? You have not come to my office. As if there is nothing he has done against me. He will not attack me. So the people are hiding under the BBI to express, just be honest. But not that everybody in the Mount Kenya hates Raila Odinga. No. A few individuals, like Kachagwa, like Dindi Nyoro, one of my employees, who has become an MP now. Yes. And then that woman of Kandara, suffering from a disease well known to lawyers when they reach at that age. And you have all the books, but you lack something. So these are some of the things that can make you, there's a syndrome in psychology. I don't want to teach psychology this morning again. Because time is running against me. The owners of the house are about to come back so that I don't make noise. No, it is, you know, here where I am is very early. So Miriam, look at the scenario. The scenario is all these people are hiding under BBI. But the truth is few individuals, especially those MPs, they hate personal hatred. They have carried personal hatred against the former prime minister.
But Dr. Ali, that is what they used to get into positions of power. They cannot go there then drilling those
without you going to Muranga and besmirch the name of Raila Odinga. Nobody will vote you. Honestly, you have to talk badly, then you get a vote. So we must differentiate. We must put a difference. We must.
By the way, Dr. Masanga, just for a minute, I need to add something to what I have said about the roads in Meru and Tharaka Nithi. There is the road that was conceived in 1980s and it was not implemented by anyone. It was implemented up to Embu. Kibaki took it to Ishiara. Then President Uhuru Kenyatta took it from Ishiara to Tharaka Nithi at Kadwana. Then from Kadwana to Shakariga, and from Shakariga to Meru Town. That road is called Mate Road, and it is President Uhuru Kenyatta who has done that road. And it is Kidiki, when he goes home, he takes credit for the road. But it's a national government road that President Uhuru Kenyatta has been able to build. When William Ruto goes there, he says that this is the road that we have built, whereas he has not been given the mandate to go and open the road that the president has been able to complete. From 1980, that road has been a thorn in flesh of Meru and Tharaka Nithi residents, and nobody completed that road. It is in public domain. The people themselves are saying that. And I'm very happy because it also passes around my farm in Meru. And I'm very happy about that development. And we are grateful to the president.
All right.
Thank you very much. I hope you have told Miriam about this farm. And that we need cross breeding people from Siaya to be on this farm so that we can get better crops. For we need, this farm should grow what people in Siaya grow. People in Siaya should teach the people of Tharaka Nithi and Meru how to do fish farming in ponds.
They tried it, doctor. It didn't work too well. The fish.
No, that's what we want. No, because we brought Chinese who imported fish and then repacked it in Kisumu. That's the mistake we made.
That was terrible.
Because we had the wrong minister of agriculture who wanted to tell us to go and eat rockers.
Doctor, let me read a comment here by one of our viewers, Meshach Odede. You're saying, Miriam, I don't have a problem with the content of the letter. I have a problem with the narrative it propagates. And the narrative of the numbers of Mount Kenya, which is a big lie. Mount Kenya can say no to the document and it still passes. They are not more than the rest of the country. And he's saying, I say hi to his friend Kiddy. So he's saying, well, maybe essentially what we've been talking about, because it has made to look like this BBI is just meant for certain communities in this country. But I think it's important.
Exactly, Miriam. They have created a class struggle within the BBI system to look like it is for Raila and Uhuru Kenyatta. That's a class struggle already. And that Machiavellian politics of Nikolai Machiavelli is done by a group that is well known. And I told you the Kirimi and Japan will mention the name. I will always bring you closer to the name.
All right. Doctor, let me read another comment so that you can react on this. Juma Smith, I see you have so much to say here. Thank you so much for joining us and for watching. You're saying, since the BBI debate has been reduced to Raila, explain what Raila stands for apart from Trump-style rejectionism of election losses. Were you here in 2007 when DP Ruto was the one who was at KICC fighting on behalf of ODM? Were you in this country? Were you present in this country, Juma?
I was present myself.
Ruto was, did you see him at the KICC?
Ruto is the one who stood on the table and I wanted to kick this man with a shoe in the mouth. I took the photographs with Sky News team. I was here. And for people like Juma Smith condemning Raila, without Raila, Ruto would have not known that there is a capital city called Hague. How nauma sana. Have I hit so hard, Mr. Kirin?
No, sir. Hit harder.
Mwaka wa kuambiana ukweli.
Mwaka wa kuambiana ukweli.
At least Dr. Matanga knew Hague in when we are traveling with Obote in 1980. Yes, in the presidential convoy. Entourage is not a convoy. Entourage. Good English. Yes. So mwache hiyo mambo yenyu. You see the problem I have now, Miriam, is when I talk, people tell me Uganda. But what I'm talking about this is coming. If you don't correct this Chebukati and this institution, and then you kill BBI, you don't do the referendum, prepare for a very tough times in 2022. Ruto will not accept he lost. If I'm wrong, if I'm still alive and God has kept me, call me. If telephones have not turned into, you know, things are moving very shortly that we don't know how much we shall communicate in. Because at the moment, people are even communicating in cups like this. A cup like this, as you put in Miriam, I can call Miriam through the cup. So we don't know how things are working now.
All right.
Call me.
Thank you so much. And Juma, you responded and you're saying that in 2007, Ruto was acting under the direction of Raila. What? You're telling me Ruto does not have a mind of his own? What are you saying? Juma, I'm not sure DP will be happy to hear that.
Juma is arguing. I have asked Mr. Juma Smith that it is Ruto who has used Raila, not Raila who has used Ruto to come to prominence. Hiyo ya ukweli.
All right.
If there is an objection there, let the panel tell me. But for me, I want to speak the truth.
All right.
Because Mr. Ruto has never won an election on his own. Show me one. In 1992, Chesire, the election in Eldoret North, he stole it. You remember what he did to that man who was the MP for Eldoret North. Can you do some research, Kirin?
And sir, I want to remind you something. In 1993, when William Ruto was marrying, he was driven around Eldoret in Cecire's new Mercedes-Benz. In 1997, he stole his election and also stole money from him.
No, that one is. Let's jump to that one is have you studied anthropology? It is called anthropological traits. Anthropological traits.
All right. Douglas,
I am
going into the case files. Let's leave that alone. Yes.
It is in the blood. You see, it is like a leprosy. Leprosy is a disease. Unless somebody starts scratching, you can't know he's suffering from leprosy. Did you know that?
Dr. Masanga, because we are telling each other the truth, I want you to tell Miriam, because Miriam tells me she's my auntie, and I accept.
The coordinator of this program, because
yes.
For me, I'm very far away.
Yes.
And she has said, let's cut the debate.
Let's move forward. Yeah, but I just wanted to understand yes, now moving forward, I don't know how Kangáta is going to do his job, his position in the Jubilee Party, seeing from this letter now moving forward, because that will be dicey for him. But we shall see how that will work out for Kangáta there, and of course the debate continues on that letter. And I like that President Uhuru Kenyatta, I think him is just busy working. He's not even concerned with anything. He's just not even President Uhuru Kenyatta. He's just busy working. Yes.
Why should he?
And I think,
why should he?
Yeah.
No. Why should Uhuru Kenyatta answer garbage?
All right. Very well.
Because Kenyatta has delivered a railway. I swear, Uhuru Kenyatta has delivered roads. Uhuru Kenyatta has changed. Under him, tea can be sold directly. Under him, coffee is regulated. Under him, milk is regulated. Under him, so many things. Under Uhuru Kenyatta, the legacy, he has built a system for tea growers in that region to enjoy. It did not pass because of Ruto. It passed because it's under Uhuru Kenyatta's government. The roads that my Mr. Kirimi has said, they are under the construction of Uhuru Kenyatta.
We need to go.
He has done a legacy. He has left a foundation. He has left a foundation. If it was not COVID-19, and by the way, people are talking about Kenya COVID-19. If you look at the conditions in London, where some of us are, the way the people here are grappling, the way people are grappling with London, the COVID in United Kingdom, you would give Kenya 1,000 marks. The situation here has turned into a very serious scenario. Yesterday, they clocked the highest figures of deaths. Kenya has been consistent. It took the steps, the sampling, it has reached. If people behaved very well, things would have been so good. But unfortunately, you go and bump into a person who has not showered for 10 days and who has not washed his hands for 10 days, and you cannot run away. So you who is even innocent, you just bump into that person, this thing catches you.
Right.
So this is happening in the cars, in matatus, in everywhere. This is how people, the community reproduction. That is the biggest problem now. But the thing is sinking, that even those who can be able, look at Uganda, for example. In Uganda now, the production of COVID-19 after this election, even Kenya will reach a point to close the border. Because people have mixed without discipline that Museveni put there originally to contain this disease. So Uhuru has done very well. Yes, out of all this, you cannot fail to have 1 or 2 rotten tomatoes. They are there. There is no farmer who can tell me that out of a farm of 20 acres, he gets all the baskets clean. If you get all of them clean, not rotten, one of the baskets will break from down. And am I wrong? If you have carried them on basket, you are packing on the car, they will break and all of them fall. So that you don't take all of them clean. If one is not rotten. So in a system, you expect rotten things that come up. Things like you have thieves stealing chemicals, masks, those who need money, that managing director issuing to friends. You have them. Don't blame the president for the thieves. If they are thieves, they are thieves. But his legacy remains. The medicine arrived here. He has tried, he has contained, and then there are people, let's not leave this word without mentioning the date. And maybe next week on Monday, we shall try to explain and bring in experts of economics, the debt ceiling. People are saying Uhuru is borrowing. Britain borrowed to put up what we see in Britain today. Infrastructure. Once your goods arrive Heathrow Airport, within the next 20 minutes, your tomatoes are being cooked in a hotel in central London. The tomatoes that came from Kenya. Because they invested in infrastructure. Those who are blaming Uhuru Kenyatta for having invested in infrastructure are the biggest enemies and the wizards of the 21st century, who run at night and wear clothes during the daytime. Because he has invested in infrastructure. Go to Naivasha now. Every weekend in Naivasha, there is no hotel which is empty. Truck drivers. Is that not the economy? Are you not building the economy? Because of the dry port. the buildings that are coming up, that is it. Those are jobs. Those are jobs being created in Naivasha.
Daktari,
Yes.
permit me the latitude to weigh in this infrastructure debate.
Go ahead.
Yes.
One of the single largest things that opens up an economy is infrastructural investment that begins with ports, airports, roads, and a comprehensive railway network. But then, because now previously Deputy President used these infrastructural projects to line his pockets, after handshake, the president realized that one, he was launching fake projects, like my brother Kirimi eloquently elucidated. So then the president, acting in his infinite wisdom, then jettisoned him to the periphery and placed Matiang'i in charge of development, supervising a development project. To date, we've seen how the delivery of these projects, including the Road 1A from Ahero to Sondo, to Kisii, then Migori, which I was mentioning about. Then there is the Dongokundu bypass project. There is a floating bridge in Mombasa that is going to help people of Mombasa from sinking in the ocean while crossing the ferry. So then these people have decided to bastardize this project using people like David Ndii to say that president is using mega infrastructure for purposes of creating feeding troughs, people around him. Truth is, it is William Ruto who used his opportunity in government to defraud the taxpayers. One of such, and I will demonstrate. One of the parastatals that were under William Ruto was the Kenya Power and Lightning Company. What did William Ruto do together with his friend Charles Keter? They've used that parastatal to loot the country dry. I submit.
And thank you for that compliment. And finally, Miriam, finally, I am not going to use easy. Did you use finally? And Miriam, finally, if you look at the infrastructure today, you will thank Uhuru tomorrow. You will thank Uhuru tomorrow. If you look at Malaba, Nairobi, Malaba Road, dual carriage, you will thank Uhuru tomorrow. If you look at Mombasa, by the end of 2022, there will be a dual carriage. You will thank Uhuru tomorrow. You know why? It is very easy now to sell your goods in Malaba, deliver them in a shop in Malaba, return with the same train, produce, go to the farm, buy more for tomorrow. The same carry goods from Malaba, deliver to Nairobi, deliver to the shop to continue supplying bananas, mbogoya, and so on. You remain visible. You remain productive. You create jobs, multiplication of jobs. The person that the shop in Malaba is working with your goods of mangoes that came from Makueni. Time has come, instead of people condemning President Uhuru Kenyatta, they should start building hotels for tourism around those border points where the train stops. Makueni is well known for producing very good products that include the mangoes and other human nature products. You know very well, my dear brother Karimi, you have traveled around Makueni where the Deputy Chief Justice comes from, those type of products.
Mangoes and watermelon and oranges.
Mango, watermelon, ladies, everybody.
Okay,
Makueni is a very, you are aware that decent people from Makueni is a product. They sell That county sells out. It's not telling a lie. Look at the Deputy Chief Justice. She comes from Wote in Makueni. They have the speciality of beauty. So if you build hotels around Makueni for stopover, what will stop Karimi and Kitty and Dr. Matanga, old in age like this, that my sons put me in SGR and we can eat breakfast in a small hotel of Kibwana in Makueni. It is internal tourism. You promote tourism. You are creating a job for that waitress in Makueni. That's why infrastructure is very important. Don't criticize Uhuru Kenyatta for nothing. Criticize him on point, jameni. Naomba tafadhali.
And also, Dr. Masanga, especially in Meru, where they have the Kinoru Stadium that has been built into international standards, when Gor Mahia and other countries like Uganda and other East African countries or African nations come to play football in our stadium in Kinoru Stadium, our people will get market for Mira. That is a direct market for Mira that has been devastated by Somalia and other countries that have been able to attack our Mira market. We shall be able to get market for Mira. We shall be able to get market for our hotels. We shall be able. Kiraito Murungi has built a very nice hotel in Koba. I'll take you there. It's called Heritage Hotel. You can be booked there. They have a presidential suite. And also in Merutown, they have very nice hotels. And also people can come and also suffer the beauty of Mount Kenya East and the mountain as they come to play football in that international football pitch that the president has been able to invest in Meru.
Yes.
Oh, let me help you here on that Mairunji. Is it called what?
Yes, Kenoru Stadium.
No, Mairunji, the crop.
Mira.
We call it Mairunji in our camp. You know, Kampala now with this SGR will be the biggest consumer of your Mira. Did you know that? Uganda has the largest number of Somalis. Do you know that most of the Mira, you look at the buses going to Kampala. Bwana nyenye mufanyi, you younger men should be doing research. Kidi was writing to me a small note that when do you do this research, Bwana Daktari? I'm sorry to say it openly here on TV, but you are my dear brother. He wrote to me a small note. He said, hey, I don't sleep. I do research. Go to the buses. Your Mira, if Somalia refuses them, there is a market in Kampala. Look at the huge amounts of Mira going to Kampala. So if you have a train SGR running all the way to Kampala, where there is a huge number of Somali nationals and offspring, you know, for us, we have given them freedom to enter our country without visa. We stamp at visa, but what Museveni does, he locates them to one elder in one clan. If they disappear, that elder must also seek himself in Lake Victoria. So that is the method being used there. Don't ask me about it, but ask God sometime. So these are some of the things Miriam should know. Now, basically, what has happened in infrastructural development of Uhuru Kenyatta is investment for the future, investment for the generations. You can underrate him. The point I was going to talk about is what Kid brought of Dr. You are saying Dr. who? Dr. Ndi.
David Ndi, yes.
Who is Ndi?
David Ndi and Isaac Mwaura.
No. Forget about Isaac Mwaura. You know,
Okay.
Isaac Mwaura frustrates you, but doesn't frustrate men like us. Eh?
Yes.
If a woman can bite your ear, you are frustrated. Have you seen any woman biting my ear? I've been married for 43 years. My wife has never beaten my ear. So don't talk about those. Let's talk about material. David Ndii is a hater. He hates Uhuru Kenyatta. That's all. He's a very good academic. And he is lucky he got a scholarship from George Soros to go and study in Oxford, Cambridge. He's lucky. Cambridge, where my daughter is studying, so there is equivalent. So that is not a problem. I don't think any of his sons has I have not seen any of David Ndii's sons in Cambridge. Wala ya Mungu hakuna atena atatukwambie ako na mtoto wako show us. You glorify people too high. David Ndii is a man who wants to divide the country into two parts. A secessionist. You call him an academic. You want to go that what? David who? It is David Wizard. No, David Ndii.
Your namesake, Doctor.
He's my namesake, but academically he was lucky. But none of his children has gone to Cambridge. If you are very bright, one of your children should end where you ended. And don't produce children who are not going to end where you ended. Miriam has a vision that the children she will produce, one day, one of them will be a broadcast.
I just have one child and I'm okay.
No, I am saying the children you will produce.
I have one child.
Okay.
Doctor.
One child. We don't want to discuss that. I was saying it could come anytime. You know, even the conceiving of.
Oh no, let's just move along.
Let's arrive very early.
We have
now,
to get back now.
We have 2 minutes left. Mm-hmm. But the point I want to make that to clear this mess of Kiddy,
of your namesake.
The point the Kiddy brought about
your
David Ndii. David Ndii is a hater of His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta. But he cannot stand. Have you ever seen him answer me? Have you seen the papers I've written about the David Ndii? Does he answer me? You have seen? No, Kiddy, have you seen? Let him try to answer. Let Miguna. Have you seen Miguna answer me? You think Miguna doesn't know that I am here? He can't answer me. I know something that has kept me off, and I've told them to keep off. David Ndii is not worth a person you can discuss. I don't want to tell you the other part of David Ndii. I will tell you in private. If you need to know.
I will look for you, Doctor.
You do that.
So when I come back, I'll tell you that you'll jump in the river at the river.
Okay. We don't want people committing suicide, so maybe it's a bad idea, Kiddy. Don't get that information. We don't want you jumping in the river. All right, so let's look at
for people to criticize Uhuru Kenyatta about the infrastructure, about the debt. He's in this debt because people stole the money that he brought into the country. Tuambiane ukweli, si ndio ukweli au ukweli? Si kweli. Kenyatta alienda kuleta wa China. Mtu mmoja alikuwa anaiba wa China. So who was wrong? Kenyatta went and borrowed the money from China. When he brought here, someone ate 10%, 40% of the Chinese money of the construction. Is it Kenyatta? Problem now. Why do you blame Kenyatta now only? Why don't you blame the man who took corruption into the entire system of KPLC that killed 11 players of Zambian team? You remember somebody who said that? That they have arrested a whole team of Zambia that died in DRC Congo or Cameroon. We should talk the truth. Someone has equipment working. We should talk the truth. And that truth should set us free. President Uhuru Kenyatta did a good job, brought the money, borrowed the money, but the people ate the money. People borrowed the money. Corruptly took the money. And David D is one of those, because he was being paid commission under Mutunga. You remember that Mutunga and David Ndi are great friends. Tell me who is a friend of who? Kirimi. Who is a friend of who? Kirimi, David Ndi and Mutunga are all friends.
These are George Soros people.
There are people who are celebrating that Trump is gone. But what is coming after Trump in Africa? It has opened a Pandora box. So I set the pace for Miriam.
For our last topic, yes, indeed, Donald Trump's messy exit, and it was a new low in the history of America. Reports showing images of mobs are streaming into the Capitol through broken windows and doors, ransacking offices and waving Confederate flags. Initially, police action seemed very lackluster in comparison to scenes of muscular action against the Black Lives Matter protest last year. But later on, yesterday, we saw the Capitol Hill was fortified, just maybe a little too late there, even as preparation of the swearing in of Joe Biden as the 46th president of the U.S. Underway there. So he also, he's been banned. He was banned from Twitter for about 12 hours. Facebook and Instagram have blocked him indefinitely. They're saying until the transition is completed. And they're now conversation about perhaps evoking Article 25 of the U.S. Constitution that may necessitate his impeachment there. But what happened there in the U.S. and Donald Trump, after Twitter allowed him back, he sent a message of he did not really apologize for what happened. But others say he seems to have thrown his supporters under the bus because he partly condemned the violence that was witnessed there on Wednesday on Capitol Hill. So I don't know if any of you have watched that message from...
I can come in, Miriam, because I'm leaving.
Oh, because, okay. Go ahead.
Because I'm leaving.
Okay.
There are 3 points I want to make. Mm-hmm. The Constitution and democracy of United States are obsolete. If there is salt, there is no more salt. It has become saltless. Then there is no salt anymore. Are we together? Obsolete. Is that the correct word, madam? Mm-hmm. Obsolete. The winner takes all is dead. If the president of the United States, the incumbent, cannot use a basic bargain of democracy, what is the basic bargain of democracy? The basic bargain of democracy is win or lose. That's the basic bargain of the democracy that we inherited. And I'm telling Africans, there is nowhere in the Plato Republic, in Socrates, Aristotle, where they say you should elect leaders every 4 years or 5 years. These were constitutions made by men. Believe me or not, Abraham Lincoln, in his grave, yesterday, but one must have turned upside down and turned again. When he saw pitting ambition against ambition, which was their democratic values of the American people, being eroded by Trump. What does this reflect to Africa then? When you look at Ghana, yesterday, the House of Parliament elected opposition Speaker of Parliament. Miriam, have you heard that?
I saw that.
They elected. It means democracy is changing. A winner does not take all. It is turning to the winner should not take all. The democracy where a winner takes all is absolute. Yafa in full, a full day, a jakufwa, tebera wo. I'm sorry to turn into my language. Imekufa, ilikufa, itakufa, iwezi kuwako. It is dead, it is dying, it will die, it will not be there in the future. People are reorganizing themselves. If you see the trouble of America, where a president in America cannot concede defeat, then you should shift very fast and very quickly to change modus operandi of our national elections and national democracy. That's why President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta today is calling upon Kenyans to embrace the BBI, to create unity, that no winner takes all, that those who have won congratulate those who have lost, and they move together as a nation called Kenya. My last point, until in Africa, Museveni writes a winning and a losing speech. Until in Africa, Magufuli in Tanzania writes a winning and a losing speech. Until in Africa, presidents write, opposition leaders like a Chamisa write a losing and a winning speech. Close the television and we go home. Because there will be nothing like a peace if in Africa people don't write two speeches. Then we better change. Today BPI, the handshake of which Kenya has brought as a very good typical example of Africa living together, where you embrace the loser and the loser embraces the winner. That is my point. That is my point today about American democracy. It is terimu na mugaso. It doesn't have any usefulness. The salt is gone. There is no more an American coming to tell us in Africa. Nobody will listen anymore that you can. For example, let me ask one question. What is the use of universal suffrage? What is universal suffrage, Miriam? Is one man, one vote system, isn't it? Why does the United States have colleges? After Clinton got more votes than Trump, then you take people to colleges. You decide the election of United States in colleges and box numbers. Is that a democracy? Is that what Africa wants? Does China have an MP? Does China have a house called Parliament where MPs draw salaries. If there is one MP, bring him and they will shoot him like tonight. In Kenya, we have MPs, we have senators drawing huge amount of salaries, drinking the biggest petrol at the petrol station because of the gasoline cars. In Kenya, Uganda, and other parts of Africa. Does China have MPs? Is there instability in China? If Chinese were the ones climbing the Capitol Hill, how many of them would be lying before Angel Gabriel today?
Daktari.
No, wait. I know you're a student of liberal democracy. I am not. I'm also a student of liberal democracy, but I speak the truth. Africa that needs to change the course. Don't tell me that you are going to bring people to compete here. 2022, you put Raila and Ruto without changing the mechanism. You know what? Prepare for a bigger jail. If you have not supported Uhuru Kenyatta to do a BBI, prepare for a bigger jail in the head. I rest my case.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Matanga. Samuel Lay, you're saying United States still strong and Trump will pay for it. Believe me, Dr. Matanga. So as we have our last comments, we shall conclude with that. So Kitty, you had something to say as you make your final comments.
Daktari has openly flirted with the dictatorship. And China is an autocratic country, so that in spite of its economic takeoff, we must always remind it and all other autocratic regimes across the world that no man is good enough to govern another man without that other man's consent. That is why democracy, in spite of all its imperfections, all the men we admire, Raila Odinga, Uhuru Kenyatta, Barack Obama, everyone else has submitted himself to democratic principles. It is incumbent, especially upon us, we the young people of this country, to ensure that we nurture and tend our democratic ideals and institutions. Thank you.
With democracy.
And on the U.S. matter.
No. He has come in to intervene on what I say. Which democracy are you talking about? You think China has no
constitution?
No, wait. Does it Gidi? Doesn't China have democracy?
Huh?
Yes, doesn't China? No. For you, an outsider, you think China has no democracy.
Yes.
But for Chinese, they have democracy. Who describes democracy? Who? You are from Migori. You want to describe democracy for Chinese? You are from Texas. You want to describe the democracy for Chinese? Why is it that China has more money today, lending money to America? Why is it that America borrows money from Qatar? Is there democracy in Qatar? Go and steal 1 pencil in Qatar. What will they do to you, Kirimi? 1 pencil from a classroom, and they find out that it is Kidi who stole the pencil. They will cut off the hand. You will walk forever every time coming to see Matanga in London with a hand hanging like this, because you stole a pencil. Only a pencil in Qatar. Doesn't America borrow money from Qatar? In China, are we not borrowing their money to build SGR? Are we not borrowing money to build all these roads that Mr. Kirimi has been mentioning? Are they not democratic? Are they lunatics to lend you money, Mr. Kidi? Who describes democracy? I'm not flattered with dictate the word you have used. But it's very dangerous. I am answering you back. I did not want to answer you harsh. But I have not flattered I am only stating facts, Miriam. I am stating that in China, they don't have MPs. They have one meeting in a year of people selected, paid noodles. They eat noodles and some lunch and some money and transport. They come and vote how much money they will give to African countries. They don't have MPs. In Kenya, your MP for the area, I hope it is not Mugirango South. This other shouting mouth guy, the younger man like you. What is his name? Osoro. You see, you have an MP like that who had who didn't know that you will one day drive a V8. And when you put him in a V8, he can now kill you on the road. Because he has free money. Our MPs in Uganda, Kenya, Africa, they have free money. In China, there is no MP. I am not saying I support what China does. Please, and get me right here. And I'm not the one to tell the Chinese what type of democracy they should have. Now that we have seen that even the American democracy is toxic, can Kidi suggest which democracy we take? So when you talk about democracy, of you getting Raila democracy, or which one is toxic? It's already toxic. If there was a democracy, what Trump would have done is just to say, I lost, I've gone home, is a norm, we're a superpower, we are the lecturers of democracy in the world. He refused. Because he is now also similar. You know, you can compare Trump to Museveni. Museveni cannot surrender power. You know why? And on 14th, 15th, very early in the morning, and the Ugandans should not get me wrong. This is already a fixed game. It's finished. Don't think of any other result. I don't know why Ugandans are waiting that 14 fixed. Which results? I've already seen the results. You can smell them from very far. When a man brings the most feared commanders, when you look at him looking at you with eyes only like a kiddie could ram his car into a tree when the commander has not even touched you. So when they are brought in the central city, tell me which Ugandan will wake up in Kampala to go and vote. Tell me. Answer me. Which democracy? Trump fears to go home because as soon as 21st, from 21st, all these things Trump has done, including the ordering of people coming, people are going to come for him. There will be a commission of inquiry. Why did the police not stop the demonstrators to enter the Capitol Hill? They will bring him. Then there is no law of immunity here. Trump brought Russian people to steal the American intelligence. He's worried. He cannot go home. His children are going to be put in jail. They might not put Trump, but the children will go to jail. Miriam, am I wrong? Mm-hmm. They have been doing dubious business in Russia with the Russian oligarchy. They have been assassinating people worldwide. It's a trail of a catalog of difficulties. That's why Trump is worried of not surrendering power. He did not want. He wanted to bring a confusion. However, I leave these questions to the panel. Does Africa need elections? If so, Kirimi, Kidi, Chavan, what type of elections you need?
All right, thank you. So, Kidi, your last comments on the U.S. issue, and then shortly, and then we move to as we conclude the show.
My last comment?
No, Kidi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me, I'm finished.
All right, thank you, Doctor.
Can I go now?
All right, Doctor, thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your
Thank
day.
you very much.
All right,
We see each
Dr.
other.
on Sunday. All
Dr.
right.
It was nice having you, and thank you for your deep insights. You are a blessing to this generation.
Very well.
Okay, thank you. Can we see each other, your East African time, 2 p.m.
On
on
Sunday.
Sunday?
Yes,
Yes.
he will be
Thank
here.
you very much, Miriam.
Yeah, thank you.
I look forward to going to that last village light.
Yeah, sawa. Thank you so much. Kidi, your last comments. On the Trump, the Messi exit. I don't know if you saw the video that he released yesterday after Twitter lifted the blockade there, and he said he partly condemned what happened there, but he did not take any responsibility of whatever he did that catapulted the situation to where it was. So will that even act to salvage the situation, and what his supporters, will that even calm them down? And the damage control, that video, I cannot even call it apology because he really did not apologize. What impact will it have on his supporters? Will they calm down?
Trump's short political career has been predicated on indecency, on appealing to our darker angels, on outrage, and I am not surprised when Donald Trump did not take responsibility, because 3-4 weeks since he lost an election, Donald Trump has not considered defeat to the president-elect, and he has used both his position as the president and his party to continually delegitimize the president-elect. So that is typical Trumpism, and we are grateful that finally it is going to be kicked out of the White House. Mm-hmm. I hope that Americans begin the process of also getting rid of Trumpism, not only in American body politics, mm-hmm. but also in the Republican Party. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you so much. Javan, your last comments are still based on the same.
Thank you, Miriam, for that great question. It has been a very good show. Dr. You have taught us a lot, and thank you for that. And the one thing that I say is USA has lost its moral authority in terms of condemning and issuing sanctions into Africa countries that don't uphold to constitutionalism in matters of elections. Therefore, to that, I hope that African leaders should also, if possible, should also issue sanctions to America to show that we are not happy with what they are doing, but that is just on a lighter note. And number two thing is that we need to have a mode of elections that works for its people, not something that is there as a privilege to the political elite, but something that will bring development to the people by ensuring that, as Dr. was saying, a mechanism that brings all people on board, not something that sidelines and leaves other people out of the governments. Like you look in this country, we have been having two communities dominating the entire politics of this country simply because they can marshal their numbers and they use one or two ways to get into this position. And after that, maybe the other communities feel like they're not part of this part of the process. And when you look at the America, the big issue with the Trump is not because that he has lost the president, but where will he go? His political relevance has come to a termination in a way he didn't expect. If they had a mechanism where maybe if you lose an election, you have an opposition leader or something else, maybe Trump could not be that agitated or using those obnoxious means to stay relevant. Mm-hmm. Therefore, it's a wake-up call to Africans to better our electoral system, to better how we do things, so that we have an election that brings development to the people and all people feel represented. And finally, Miriam, on the issue of all the discussion that we have had, the issue of BBI should be brought into a matter of conclusion, and nobody should take what Kangáta is saying, and let's wait until the right time when we can have to go to the ground and survey of the extent in which the BBI is supported in Mount Kenya region and all other regions. And BBI is not a dual die process. It is not a process for Mount Kenya region alone. It's a process of all Kenyans, and all Kenyans should have their say when it comes to the final say, and that is on the ballot during the referendum, and that should be the case here. Thank you.
Thank you, Jevan. Thank you so much, Douglas.
Thank you, Miriam. And these are my rusty thoughts. I think that people have seen from the US over 260 years of democracy and also their constitution and all that. We need to understand that there are no perfect documents and there are no perfect systems in the world. So what we copied in the US, we can be able to amend. And that is my call to Kenyans. Wake up and amend the BBI, the constitution under the BBI amendment bill, so that we can be able to change our nation. We don't want people banning parliament like they did in Burkina Faso or they did at Capitol Hill. And another thing, I'm calling out to our Pan-African brothers and presidents across Africa. They need to change their constitutions. They need to shake hands with their opponents. They need to introduce BBI, because after this, we are going to introduce BBI in the USA. It may not necessarily be our own. They need their own BBI so that we can be able to bring together Trump and his white supremacist, and also to bring together the people of the United States, because that country is largely not united, and also they need to be united as a people. We cannot call for sanctions like Jevan has said. Washington cannot take that rightly. What we can only be able to do is that we can recommend they have some small sort of BBI, because it's a whole continent in itself. They need BBI so that different states in America can be able to relate. And on our matters here on the land, we need to be able to tell the deputy president the truth. Now that his party has been confirmed, the UNDA party, he needs to go on and resign from government immediately, take on with Kangáta and also Kindeki's of this world and Mokolmens, so that they can go and propagate the agenda of going to State House in 2022. When they shoot for the moons and they run to the stars, there will be no problem. They can run into opposition and they can continue criticizing the next BBI government that we are going to vote for in 2022. And may God bless you, Miriam. Thank you for this week. We have been so blessed by your questions and also your insights across Africa. And also, let's see you on Sunday. May God bless you.
Thank you. I received that. Thank you so much, Douglas Kirimi from Meru, Douglas. And thank you, Jevan Karanja from Nanyuki. Thank you, Kidi Mwaga. Thank you so much. And of course, thank you, Dr. David Matsanga. Samuel, you're saying, Sister Miriam, may you send me your... No. But thank you so much for watching. I know you're watching from the US. Samuel, join us here on Sunday. Our time will be 2 p.m. East African time. I don't know, you can calculate the difference and we can see you then. We'll be having a conversation about Africa. It's called Africa Showdown, not just in Kenya, but also other things that are happening across the continent.
Miriam?
Yes.
I'm still behind the scenes. Moses does not appear on Sunday. Why?
We'll talk about that after the show. For now,
Moses is here. Let's get him. He's running away.
All right. Bye-bye. We'll see you on Sunday.
Okay, thanks.
Peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.